Hello everyone. Today we are going to review the OXO Good Grips kitchen shears. Let's start by doing a quick walkthrough of the kitchen shears just to check out their features. So they've got nice rubber coated handles that feel pretty good. They are slip resistant, which is nice. They are scissors, so they do the whole cutting thing, which is good. They have a spring on them, and this spring opens them up, but not all the way. It only opens them about halfway. So if you're doing sort of small stuff, like you're snipping away at like, I guess, paper or like parsley or something like that, then that's the perfect distance for it. But if you want to cut anything larger, you have to physically open it up to get access to it. Okay, so there's that piece. They also have a latch on them to keep them closed. So that's useful if you want to store them in a drawer or something. And the last part that I really like about them is you just open it up all the way, and you can open it up and take them apart. So if you're cutting apart a chicken or some other meat, a lot of the stuff gets in this little area, and you can get bacteria growing in there. And these ones make it really easy to open it up and clean it out. So I really like that feature. All right, so that's the basic review of the cutting shears. And with that, let's get into cutting things to see how they work. Right here, let's check it out. We have a piece of celery. Can we chop this up? Oh yes, that works great. Yes, so yeah, these work great for cutting up celery. Do they work for carrots? Let's check this out. We've got a small carrot here. Can I cut this up? Yes, you can cut that up. As it gets to the bigger ones, you got to open it up a bit more. And then can you cut the bit off at the end? That's kind of gross. Yeah, works just fine. So the cut on this, let's look at the cut. That cut is not a nice, smooth, straight cut. When you get to the bigger pieces, it's got like a little point to it. But when you're down here on the smaller pieces, you'll see that this cut is relatively smooth. It still points a bit, but it's not the same as a knife. But if you're working on something like a kitchen stock or whatever, then that'll work just fine. What else can we try cutting up? Oh, we got some parsley here. So if we're cutting small, fine things, how well does it do? Well, let's try it out. We got this parsley here. Let's cut it up. Oh, yes. Yeah, it does a fine job. It cuts that really nicely. Let's cut some twine with these things. So this would be if like you're wrapping up a roast or something else, or want to make a bouquet garnier or something like that. We've got standard kitchen twine. That cuts it really nicely. That's very nice. And sometimes you got to pull it tight to cut it, but that works well too. So these work really well. Work well for cutting kitchen twine. All right, so I have here a Draper Valley Farms all natural fresh chicken, no hormones, blah 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 blah, all the things. Let's take a look at it. This guy is, I got it on sale, 5.5 pounds or so. And let's cut it up. But first I want to see how well it does on the plastic. It should go just fine, but I want to check it out. Yeah, that cuts just fine. All right, so I'm going to get the rest of this in the sink so it doesn't get all over my cutting board. Let's take a look at this. Okay, what do we got? So we have chicken, fresh chicken, 5.5 pound chicken. We've got all the giblets in this little paper bag, and we've got our scissors, which got some chicken slime on them from opening the bag, and they feel pretty good. They're a bit slippery, but I don't feel like I've lost control. I feel I have good control, even though this part right here got a little bit slippery. All right, let's see how it works on the paper. Oh, it's getting gummed up. Let's try the tip. Okay, so if I use the tip on the paper, it cuts nicely. But if I try to use the back of it, it gets gummed up. So it works well with the tip for paper. The back, not so much. All right, and then we've got, so we have the neck. There's the neck. Can I cut the neck in half? Let's find out. I need to go back to that notch. Yes, I can. It did not cut clean all the way through. It did cut most of it, but then it kind of got stuck on a tendon right here. Let's take a look. So when I cut, it cut all the way through the bone, just fine, but it got stuck on a tendon. So I can just go back a little bit and cut that. Cool. Put those in the pot. Okay, so now I've got the chicken itself. So a lot of times when you have the chicken and you want to put it in a pot, you got to have a giant pot. But you don't want to do that, you just want to cut it out. So you want to cut the things, so you want to cut down the back of it here and cut the spine out. Cut out the backbone. So normally you need a giant knife for that, but we're going to try it with these scissors. So I'm just going to try cutting down the side. So what have I noticed right away? It has cut the bone right in here. So it cut the bone just fine, but because it was open and wide, it has not cut the skin. So I got to come back and cut the skin. So you can see there it's cut the bone. Yeah. Okay, so we got it all? No, we have not. Go on there, there. Okay, so we got half this chicken taken apart. Let's get the other side. So the spine's right along in here. So we're gonna come through and I'm gonna try with just the tip this time. Oh, that worked nicely. That worked nicely? Huh. Yeah. You don't need to go all the way wide with it. It's cutting through this chicken just fine. Okay, so there's the backbone. So you can see all the stuff in there, which is good, but it cut through it just fine. I'm gonna cut this in half again. So I can put that in there, break it down a bit. Helps the whole stock breaking process. But yeah, that's cutting through greatly. And then I can get access to all this marrow in here. Okay, so we got that. Let's get the wings off. Yep. That worked nicely. Let's get this other wing. Okay, so there's the other wing. I like to break these down a bit more so I get more of the collagen and stuff out of them. So this bone is not cutting with the tip. So I have to go back here and then it cuts nicely. Okay, interesting. So this one's not cutting at all. So this, I'm having to squeeze quite hard and it's not cutting. Let's see if I can get a little bit higher up. There we go. There we go, that worked. I had to get the bone up in this section here, and I had to push pretty hard on the back right here, and this is hitting the cutting board. I'll put that in there. All right, let's see if the same thing happens with this one. So we'll get this one. What's next? Let's get the legs. So it cuts through the skin just fine. And once again, my goal on this video is I'm making stock with all this meat afterwards. You could just take it out and roast those and you've got a nice drumstick. But let's cut this. Let's go right through here. See how this cuts? Aiming for the joint when I got the joint. So I can cut through there. Okay. And I'm gonna try cutting up the drumstick now. Well, I should try with the tip. I can do that with the tip. Weird, the wings are stronger than the thigh bone was. No, can't do that part. Let's in here. So you can see I got this open, I can get access to the marrow. I don't think this is gonna be able to cut that, it's too big. But I got access to the marrow, and I've separated out the chicken thigh on its own. That's pretty exciting. Now all that's left is this part of the carcass, aka dead bird. So I got this part left, and I kind of want to keep the breasts separate. I can just cut up the middle. I'm gonna cut this bit off here, because I don't want that part on there. A little bit of the breast meat with that. That's okay. I'll cut up the middle. That's cutting all right. It's a little tough, but not too bad. All right, so there you go. Now I have the two breasts still on the bone, which is my preference right now. And everything else is in the pot, all cut up. So, there you have it. These are the OXO Good Grips kitchen shears. And they cut really nicely, I would say. And they can cut big things, small things, carrots, that kind of stuff. It works just fine. They get a little gummed up when you cut through something with tendons. So if you are cutting back here and there's tendons or skin, it will get a bit gummed up. But if you're cutting tendons and skin on the tip, it works really great. There's no problems at all. And I've got all kinds of gunk on my hands right now. They get a little bit slick on the back, which you'd expect, but I don't feel like I've lost any control. I was probably abusing them and cutting too hard, but sometimes I found I had to push on top of the cutting board. So I put this on the cutting board and then I push this down to cut things. But I was able to get the extra leverage to cut through some bigger bones. And I really like that now that you can see there's a bunch of chicken stuff inside the joint here. So now I can take it apart and clean it really nicely. So that was really exciting. So all in all, I think these OXO scissors have worked really well, and I think they're great for taking apart a chicken. All right, thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe if you like the video. And if you really like the video, hit the bell icon. All right, see ya.